Hey.
Oh, morning, Joe.
Go.
Morning.
Let's go. How you doing?
Good morning.
With that, I'll call to order the Jefferson County Development Agency Loan Review Committee on Wednesday, January 24th. We have one item on our agenda. It's for Hales Bus Garage LLC for the sales tax abatement application. I hope someone can walk me through this because I can't figure out what and why we're doing it.
So essentially, Hale took, if you remember Freeman Bus
Yeah.
Corporation, had financial troubles, and then I forget the name of the company that took it over. They were running Clarence and the coach, and Leaf was his last name. And they actually had some financing, and they had $100,000 loan from the Local Development Corporation. They basically went bankrupt. Hale Transportation bought them out. Came to Watertown, they've been doing okay, but they're doing extensive renovations to the facility. They're adding a small expansion, about 4,500 square feet. So it's kind of commercial renovation, transportation company, they have worked down, and they do a variety of transportation options. They've got the bus, the charter buses. I think they may be doing some medical transport as well. The charter bus has been service to Watertown, they've been maintaining. So they're applying for a sales tax exemption benefit at this point.
So do I understand that the renovations themselves are bank financed?
Yes.
So it's just the sales tax, it's
Just they're only applying for the sales tax exemption.
not the mortgage recording?
No. And that's kind of a question for you. We were talking your in-house. As I understand it, what used to be projects like this would be just kind of sales tax under the $100,000 benefit. We would just bring it directly to the board. Now, to the committee. That's our bringing it to the committee. So I didn't want to not bring it and change the process. But there's a question for you. Do you want us to bring projects like this to you, or when it's under $100,000, we don't need to do the public hearing and all that kind of stuff. If you'd rather just bring it to the committee first, or bring it to the board.
I think it's good to come to the committee, just if we've got questions, then by the time the board, comes along, then our questions are answered.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I just, I didn't want to have you guys have to come to another meeting if you would prefer not to. So.
Sure. I have a question, we go to page 15 in it, and whether this is it says it's not for retail sales, but if you look at the last sentence of the paragraph, it says sales of services to customers who personally visit the project. I don't, if he's working a garage out of there,
It's a repair shop.
yeah.
What is it, a repair shop for his own equipment?
No, he's got a sign out there, there's a sign out there for automotive repair.
Yeah.
Is that, go ahead, Chris.
I'll chime in. I'm familiar with Hale. We do have the relationship with the bank. It's a great company. They're very, very strong. They have presented this to us as far as financing for the addition. That is not reached final approval yet. We're waiting for the decision here. But I do fully support it. And he has contracts with, New York State DOT for repairs. So he does a lot of municipalities and not necessarily focusing on individual repairs. It's more companies. So he does have a lot of that business, and it has been growing. I can say positive things about him. I don't know if I should be recusing myself from this vote, but my question was also, and it was a little bit hard to hear when you were talking about the mortgage tax. I was wondering why he didn't apply for that as well, because there will be mortgage financing. So I'm just unclear on that. I haven't really been through one of these process like this for sales tax exemption either.
I will ask him. It could be he wasn't clear what he could ask for.
That's what I wondered too.
He said, I got to ask him, he was referred to by Don Rutherford, the trust, they took over the financing that, the bankrupt entity for.
So with that, go ahead, Chris, I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't sure if he would qualify for mortgage tax exemption if it was financing with a bank or if it was a loan to the IDA or from the IDA. I was not clear on
The
that.
mortgage recording tax is for the commercial loan, so when they're doing bank financing, yes, yeah. And actually, that would end
So
up,
should they reapply to include that?
we could just modify, we could have modified the application time for the board meeting. If the board is comfortable with this, if it is, which would, so we would end up doing kind of a resolution, having to do a public hearing on it, because that, I'm sure that would bring it over the $100,000 benefit, about $82,000 benefit currently to the sales tax exemptions.
And do we have a sense of the size of the mortgage facility?
$2.5 million.
Well, we already have significant loan with them. We financed the purchase. We were very in favor of that. He's done great things. And so at this point, I'm not sure how much the additional loan with us will be. It could be 500.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we're just trying to narrow that down.
If it's a $500,000 mortgage at 0.75%, you're looking at, $3,750 in savings, which, adds to the amount of sales tax that they would be able to exempt. But the sales tax exemption is fairly easy to document through an agent agreement and a sales tax letter and some forms. It's not terribly paper intensive. But in order to provide mortgage recording tax exemptions, we need to document the equivalent of a full straight lease, a lease of their real estate to the IDA, and then a lease back of the facility to them, and then you close with the bank with the IDA as a participant on the mortgage on a non-recourse basis. But instead of having like a 10 or a 15-year lease back for a pilot, we literally just have the lease back in place for 2 or 3 months to provide enough time for that mortgage to go on record exempt. The cost of adding all of that paper,
Not worth it.
part of the analysis here, the cost of dealing with the bank's attorneys, who I'm sure are fine, but we do need to work with them. Doing the is kind of, it's something that 500,000 might wash it out. So it's a cost benefit analysis that we can discuss with them.
Okay.
Understood. I agree.
And the mortgage recording tax benefit would be on the additional financing, not just the
I know.
Yeah.
If they were a full refi, and if this was a new bank not taking an assignment, so it's all new money, it might be something attractive. But if you have the same bank coming in with just a little bit of new money, it might not be very attractive to pursue.
Agreed. And that's probably why it didn't apply.
Makes sense.
I mean, we did talk about pilot as well, but, I said with the, petition you're building on, it's not gonna make enough addition, to the assessment. It's gonna be, it'll cost you more for the pilot than you get the benefit, so.
So back to my first question, to answer the retail sales and portion of it, it sounds like the people coming in would be incidental to,
I would think so, yeah. I mean, I wasn't aware that he's doing, we had to sign up for it, but I knew that, we were kind of doing like contracts for DOT and highway garages.
so we could answer that question, that anything that would be incidental to the overall.
Yes.
And we can take a close look at that as well. Oftentimes when we have a project that has a component of retail, we weigh whether more than 1/3 of the total project costs involve retail sales. So if they're not adding on to their front shop, in other words, their receiving area, reception, where sales actually occur, rather if they're adding on bay area, repair area, or things that are otherwise not retail, we may not be triggering that analysis.
Okay.
We'll follow up.
If you look at page 9, they've checked the box for exemption from mortgage tax
Yeah, I saw that too.
and exemption from numerous boxes. But
Right.
I don't, this isn't a pilot, so I'm not really sure. Property tax one should have been
Right.
checked anyway.
Yeah, then that may have been a mistake, like, because when I
Well,
talked
I mean,
to,
there's a bunch of, that one, yes, it seems to be extraneous. The mortgage tax also checked, yes, but, so it may require that, this is page 9 of the packet.
Yep.
5 of the application, I guess. Maybe that has to be clarified.
And I found one other mistake, it's just, I know it's just a typo. Page 19, their completion date is 2023, right? Sure that is a typo.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Also, on page 14 of the application, it indicates, the question is, has the phase 1 environmental assessment been prepared? And yes, the bank does have one. They said, no, I provided them with copies. I'm not sure if that's the situation.
Probably not for sales tax if it were a pilot, I think. Actually, maybe it's for all, that's kind of the question for Justin, is probably, is it for any relief we offer or just applying to pilots?
Generally, if we're doing mortgage tax and pilot, we'll have an interest in real estate, and that's when we start to care about the condition of the RIP. For sales tax, it's just an agent agreement. There's no interest in property where we could become a PRP.
Okay.
Those are my questions. Anyone else have questions or concerns?
Nope.
Motion to move this to the board for further review.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That was the only thing we had on our agenda. Anything else, Dave?
no, that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Aren't you glad you got up early?
All
And so,
in favor, aye?
we'll phone up the Jefferson County. That's good.
We stand adjourned. Thanks.
We'll save breakfast.
Can I just stay on this meeting? We're having another one right after this, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I gotta go for
It
tools.
takes me forever to find this link.
So that-
Now I know where it is. I can